Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you today. Oh, yeah. Greg MCELROY laid into Tony, said he didn't have any class. He's appalled, all this kind of crap. We're going to talk about that. And Schlossnagle has left Texas A&M, and it couldn't be worse. Wow. This show is going to be very full, and I'm just going to go ahead and let you know up front, if you're somebody that's sensitive or maybe a little bit fragile, this is not the show for you today because it's going to set you off. So, you know what? Humongous, tell them.
Just walk away.
Yeah, now's your time to walk away. I don't want y'all going in the comment section, oh, this was too rough for me. You should have warned. You've been warned. Don't make me come over there. I'll turn this car around. All right, we're going to start out with the Greg MCELROY situation. He decided to talk some smack about Tony Vitello of the Tennessee VOLS, head coach of the baseball team. You may not have heard, but they just won the national title. He's been an incredibly successful coach at Tennessee the last 5 years. There's nobody been better. And Tony likes to have a lot of fun. Tony's a very vivacious person. He loves to win. His players love him. He loves the players. The town loves him. I mean, it's just been remarkable the last 5 years. Now, he likes to enjoy his job, the games, all of that stuff. And he's very open about it. And that doesn't sit well with Greg MCELROY, who doesn't appreciate anybody celebrating or getting too excited about things. So Greg said that Tony Vitello's antics were embarrassing, like a WWE character. Have some class. And I think what he's upset the most about was this is where Tony jumped into the fan base. And I showed you this yesterday. You can see he jumped in there and had fun with the fans. That tore Greg MCELROY up. I'm telling you, he was so upset. Look at him partying with the folks after the game. He hates that. MCELROY thinks you should never do that. Nick Saban would have never, ever done that. And he's right. Nick Saban was not close with the fans like that. He just wasn't. As a matter of fact, he even threatened the fans one time that if they didn't get in line, he'd just go somewhere else. And man, they they went, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, we'll do it. And you can't hardly blame him. I mean, Nick was a fantastic coach. He was a different style coach. He was an old school coach. One of the reasons he quit, he didn't like all the changes. He didn't like NIL. He didn't want the players to get paid. He didn't want them to be able to transfer. He hated all that. Now, he was happy himself getting paid. He was fine that he was the highest paid coach. He was fine making tens of millions of dollars and all that kind of stuff and taking advantage of his fame with commercials and things like that, which was fine for him, not the players. And that's okay. You know, look, he's old school. It's understandable. He started coaching in the 70s. But anyway, Greg didn't appreciate it. And I'll let you hear it for yourself.
He does. I just wish he didn't have the antics that he does. He's like a WWE character. I mean, it's embarrassing. Seriously. I mean, to be an adult, it's just, I'd be appalled. I really would. I know he wins and he's great and the kids love him and all that stuff. That's awesome. But if that was the leader of my organization, I would have to have a little talking to him. I just would. It's just, it's unbelievable. I mean, the guy and the team a couple years ago, I think, lost the national championship. And they had the best team. I think that team was probably better than this team. And, you know, I think they lost it because they didn't harness their emotions. And it's great to lean into that. But, man, it's just like I said, it's a tough team to root for. I mean, goodness gracious.
Really? Really? Tough team to root for. Yeah. It's a real tough team to root for. Knoxville's having a terrible time rooting for him. Matter of fact, they gave him a parade yesterday. They love Tony. They absolutely love this guy and the team. And it's mutual. So Greg's living in his little la-la land where, you know, look, he's a Buzz Killington. Just the way it is. He wants to look at etchings.
Oh man, this is the best party I've ever been to.
Evening, everyone. I thought it would be very droll if we all sat down and looked at etchings.
He doesn't want to go have a big party after winning a title and all. That's fine. You know, and I understand, like I said, he was a Nick Saban protege, I guess, and that makes sense. But anyway, you're full of crap, Mr. MCELROY, just to be honest with you. And look, he had to know he was going to get a bunch of pushback on this. He had to know it. And here it is. So anyway, I'm not going to worry about that too much. You shouldn't either. Look, there's a little bit of jealousy in that we're having so much fun with the baseball team. And, he doesn't like that. He doesn't want them celebrating, having a good time. He might even be upset about the parade. He probably doesn't think baseball's that important and that you shouldn't have a parade. Who knows? But anyway, Buzz Killington can stick it. All right, now we need to get into Schlossnagle. You want to talk about doing the worst thing you could do to Texas A&M is to not losing. Look, anybody could lose that game against Tennessee. He did a great job this year and got them to the finals of the national championship. It's not that. The worst thing you can do at Texas A&M is take yourself and the entire coaching staff, basically all the assistants, are the ones that matter the most, are all going to Texas. There is no way for me to emphasize what a brutal situation that is for A&M fans. I mean, Texas and Texas A&M, it doesn't get any more like this. I mean, it's the most brutal rivalry. It's Auburn, Alabama. It's Florida, Florida State. It's right in there with them. And to take their coach is infuriating. I'm telling you, the A&M folks are pissed. And I'll let you hear a little bit of how they feel about it.
I personally am not I'm not so upset about the coach moving as I am the bald-faced lies. Now, they can, from Monday night, now you can get into semantics and say, well, he didn't actually say he was leaving A&M, but he said, I came to A&M with the intention of taking another job, and my mind hasn't changed. So you can play semantics all you want, but it was a bald-faced lie, and he knew it when he was lying, and he had the nerve to say somebody was being selfish while he sat there and lied. And I think Schlossnagle accomplished two things. He was able to get the job as the head baseball coach at the University of Texas, and I think he ensured first ballot induction into the Hypocrites Hall of Fame. And I don't think there's any other way to put it. He is a liar.
Was he clear enough for you? Did you get that? Yeah, Texas A&M folks are not happy. But let's let you hear what he said. And this is on Football Scoop. They did a story on it by Zach Barnett. And here's what he actually said.
Coach, with respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. And that's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Coach, thank you very much.
Boy, he was mad, wasn't he? How dare you ask me that question? In my mind, I'm never leaving. Kind of reminds me of this.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me.
Yeah, come at me. I'm 40. But here's the thing. With that type of mindset, I know where he gets that from. I remember the show. This was probably one of his favorite, had to be one of his favorite shows, because this was spelled out perfectly by this person.
Jerry, just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
That's right. It's not a lie if you believe it. In his mind, he's never going anywhere else. Now, of course, he'd already cut a deal, and all the assistants were going with him. You don't think that happened in 19 hours, do you? From that time of that meeting, from the time of that interview, when he said, hey, I'm going? Give me a break. He didn't like the question because he knew he was going to have to look like a liar. And then there was a way to answer that question. He could have said, I'm not answering a question like that right now under these circumstances. Good grief. Something like that, not this nonsense that he put out there, that he's just, how dare you? I'm indignant that you would even ask me such a question, knowing full well he's about to sign a contract that they've probably been working on for a month. Give me a break. And the Texas A&M folks were trying to put it out there that Tony V was going to be the next. If you remember, that was on X, on their message board. Actually, let's take a look at that. Oh, look, there's Tony V being classless, partying with his teams and players. Classic. Yeah, there he is celebrating again. WWE star Greg McElroy. What a joke. Here's a guy that says, I've never seen Tony do this to one of his players. Look at him yelling and screaming at his players. Look at him. He's sick of this crap. Now let's see if he screams at any more players. I think this is the way you're supposed to coach your players right here. Look at that right there. Does that look like he's showing class? Huh. Yeah. What do you think of that, Greg? Is that okay to yell and scream at your players? Is that fine? I'm just wondering. I mean, you're obviously comparing them. Anyway, thought that was a pretty good tweet. Oh, there's more of Tony's antics, hugging his mom. I'm appalled. Oh, and there's his dad. Now I'm really appalled. Don't you hug your parents after winning and cry? That shouldn't be allowed. They need to put a stop to that. Oh yeah, here it is. Message board geniuses. Sources with knowledge have confirmed to message board geniuses that Tony Vitello will be the next baseball coach at Texas.
You sure about that?
That was June 24th. I think they ought to change the name of that Twitter account. Not Message Boards Geniuses. Here they were back on June 9th. Trusted sources have informed MBG, which is Message Board Geniuses, that Tony Vitello will be named the new baseball coach. That was on the 9th. So the 9th and the 24th. And Tony will be Longhorn head coach, have an uncle with ties to big Austin upper crest of big donors. He'll be paid $3 million a year and a big NIL bucket to draw from. Stay tuned.
Liar!
Message board geniuses. Tony Vitello will be a perfect fit for Texas. That was on the 19th. Anyway, it has been confirmed that he's taken the job, and of course he was adamant that he would never leave. So anyway, Mr. Indignant, how dare you ask me that question? Knew he was not telling the truth. But anyway, that's how they do. And remember, it's not a lie if you believe it. So anyway, I did want to cover this. Greg McElroy is just appalled. He's never seen anybody act so embarrassingly. And then Schlossnagle, Creek, Texas A&M, big time. And I tell you, you talking about a rivalry heating up, it's going to be unbelievable. Can you imagine when Texas goes to Texas A&M to play a baseball game? It's going to get rough. It is going to get really rough.
Remain calm! All is well! All is well!
Whew, man, I'm telling you, you think it was rough on Lane Kiffin? They better hide the mustard bottles and the golf balls. They may throw something else, though. You never know. It's going to be ESPN, you might as well be there because it'll be the game of the week for sure. Anyway, I did want to cover this. I just thought I needed to say a few things about these two news stories. First of all, Tony, you keep doing exactly what you're doing, and everybody loves it. And Greg McElroy, you just, look, go sit in your little rocker over there, put on your shawl, and yell at the TV. And as far as Schlossnagle, you got your $3 million a year. You got what you wanted was the money. And just remember, you're a man. You're 40. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these big sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, 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 boom. Hit that little button. Doesn't cost you a dime. What you doing? Anyway, and right over here is a recent video YouTube. Thanks, you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.